Hey everyone, welcome once again to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It's episode 104. And of course with me are my two good buddies and co-hosts, John Tracy and Illinois Smith, 2024, making his appearance once again. I'm Matt Craig, happy you are with us. Illinois Smith, what's going on, man?
Well, apparently I'm here because Dr. IP is going to war with Elon Musk. But
Good.
Other than that, I do have a question. Because I saw it circulating around this week and it flabbergasted me, and I'm hoping maybe you guys have seen it and have answers. But why are people cooking chicken in NyQuil?
Does TikTok
Really?
Yeah, so the articles I saw floating around all said the FDA is warning people not to cook chicken in NyQuil, and I'm like, why in the hell would you cook chicken in NyQuil? NyQuil, if nothing else, it's going to taste terrible.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're thinking of the alcoholic content, but I mean,
alcohol is going to burn off if you cook it.
It's going to burn off, exactly. Yeah, it's like
that's funny that you thought why would you cook NyQuil or why would you cook chicken in NyQuil because it tastes bad? I thought, why the hell does the CDC have to speak?
No, not the CDC. I think it was the FDA. The FDA is like, it's a bad idea. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a safety.
Why do they have? Why does the FDA have to tell you to not to like?
Because there's stupid people out there who are going to do it.
They shouldn't have to. They should not have to tell you. They shouldn't have to tell you. Yeah, they should not have to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Don't mix A with B. Come on. It's that simple.
Jesus.
I don't get that at all. John, though, how you doing, man?
Yes.
You're on the road once again in Houston?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm on location. That's what we'll say.
There you go.
Secret plans. No. Go. Go Texas.
The weather down there in Houston.
Beautiful as always. Hot.
Oh, there you go.
It's finally chilled up here.
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
nice.
It's great. It's hoodie weather. It's just fantastic. And I just love this type of weather, man. No, it's 100% hoodie weather. Are you kidding me? 100% hoodie weather.
I miss hoodie weather.
Before we go on with that first topic, Johnny, I think you had something, didn't you? Like, did you know?
Oh yeah, this is a little fact for you guys. Did you guys know this? That the Empire State Building has its own zip code.
See, now, okay, here's the thing. I thought Newman told us in Seinfeld that Newman told us in Seinfeld that they're meaningless, basically. So I wonder how many zip codes does the Empire State Building have?
Just one. Just one.
Just the one. Okay.
It's 10118.
Interesting.
So it covers enough ground for a New York zip code. I'm impressed.
Well, that makes me wonder
it covers
now,
it vertically. Yeah.
Does the I'm not going to call it Willis Tower. Does the Sears Tower have its own zip code in Chicago?
Yeah.
It does not seem to.
Huh.
It's interesting.
So I guess the Empire State Building had to, since they're no longer the tallest building.
Yeah.
They had to figure something else out to be unique.
Is it? I wonder if it's. I'll take it. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. You just never know these things. That's for sure. But speaking of not knowing things, guys, why don't we hit up with topic one here? And sometimes it's just better just to shut the hell up if you're a college student, not knowing exactly what the hell's going on.
Oh, you weren't talking to me. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, no, I was not talking to you. Of course not. Okay. No. But we have this headline here. Utah governor slams Oregon fans for obscene chant at BYU football game. Of course, this was last week. Like with Two Noobs, we always like to take our time, get the whole story of what's happening here. So, long story short, we have Oregon student section, small minority, chanting F BYU or F the Mormons. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I think FBYU probably would have been let alone.
I'd have totally been okay with FBYU.
Yeah.
Because,
but we
FBYU.
But we have to say F the Mormon. Yeah. But we have to say F the Mormons because we don't know any better. No surprise out in Oregon. But what prompted this was a Duke volleyball player was playing against BYU, and she was African-American, and she thought she heard.
We also do know that Duke's not in Oregon, just as a disclaimer.
Yeah, there's 100% on that. But apparently they were playing a match, and she thought she heard racial overtones going on there. Turned out, after being interviewed, there were multiple interviews, cops on the scene, all that kind of stuff. Nothing of that ever took place. Apparently that memo didn't make it to the Oregon student section because they were chanting F the Mormons. And this was after the fact that the BYU football team came out with a flag as a gesture of goodwill. Basically what happened was there was a tight end from Oregon who tragically died in a climbing accident in July. So they came out with the guy's name and his number, which was a tremendous gesture, but apparently that didn't make the Oregon student section. John, I'm going to just toss it to you first, your immediate reaction to this, because I have my own set of circumstances and things.
I'm sure that the Oregon student section did not know that they were going to come out with a flag, so I'm not gonna hold them to task on that. But just a simple, basic language lesson. This isn't even a moral thing. This is like, fuck BYU is fine. Like, if you have a problem with it's the school, why do you have to go to the religion? Why do you have to go to the core of it? Like, why do you have to? It's like one extreme measure has to meet another one. Before the stories are even told. This is the internet age. This is exactly what they're doing. They were going for the throat. They weren't going for. The thing I love about Philly is they know how to chant, they know how to offend you, and they know how to do it properly with respect. This is not that. This is low class heckling is what this is. Fuck the Mormon? Come on. Like, bro, that, by the way, that's 1950s. That's not even like 2022. Like, we already went through that time. Yeah, we went through that time in our country.
Yeah.
Just the lack of respect and understanding and reading to people. God's honest truth. Reading the story to figure out what it is. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
If they would have chanted fuck BYU all day, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, Chicago does fuck the Packers all the time. They're not, like, going after Aaron Rodgers' personal religion. You know what I mean? Like,
but they
Aaron
always
Rodgers,
have to.
That's fine.
But they always have to time it with F the. That's what the chant is, basically. And so when you have idiot fans that do something like this, they have to chant it in that F the whatevers and, whatever. And it's like, dude, FBYU, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's that easy. Simple.
It's easy. We've said fuck the Mets for fucking 100 years. Like, they've got letters we can spell. Like, you can
screw
heckle.
the Mets. Yeah.
You don't. It's uninformed people doing stupid shit is what it is.
Yeah. To the fairness of the University of Oregon, they did end up apologizing for that. So we want to make mention of that on this podcast, and they should have. No question.
I'm a big Oregon Duck college football fan, so I have no,
Yeah, but the issue is it's not people who actually did it apologizing. It's the university they happen to attend apologizing for them. Because these people are numbnuts.
Yeah.
Who were probably, drunk.
Most likely.
And, are 20, 21, think they know everything.
Well, it kind of harkens back to the conversation you guys had when I was on vacation about that incident with the Rangers fan, in Tampa. And, the guy knocking the other guy out because he was, who knows what the back behind. You guys could talk more about that a little bit more.
Well, that wasn't bigotry. That was just flat out assault.
That was just flat out assault. I mean, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's along the same lines, but it is a verbal assault on someone's deeply held religious beliefs, and it's kind of like, dude, like, come on, man, like,
I don't.
There comes a point in time where you have to like cool it. You know, it's like just calm the hell down more than anything else. It's a football game; it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day,
also in the thing I think is so frustrating is this is where our crackpot national media should turn. This is town square stuff. Like, you know how you stop stuff? Everybody in unison goes, yo, shut up. That's not cool.
Yeah.
And nobody does that. Now it's just reporting, oh, well, they said F the Mormons, and what are we going to do about it? Well, you should do something about it. Like, a hit piece should be written. Like, you should... Just because Oregon, or like Steve said, just because Oregon's officials apologized, they didn't do any investigation.
No.
They did less investigation than BYU did for the racial slur that was quote unquote said in that. Like, that's what I mean. Like, the story's so ridiculous because you're allowing people to get away with flat out racism because they're mad because they think there was flat out racism.
When there wasn't.
It makes no sense.
Well, look, here's the stupidity of it is let's even assume that it was true that somebody said something racial at the Duke thing,
Absolutely.
Right? Okay, well, what does that have to do with Mormonism? You know, like,
Zilch.
Yeah, the person
Nothing.
who said it is an asshole and should be reprimanded and punished to whatever extent need be. But
Absolutely.
what does that have anything to do with the religion aspect of
Nothing.
it? Nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm confused on. That everybody wants to glaze over. That like it is a product of the United States of America. You meet racism with racism. You meet stupidity with stupidity. Like, when someone does something, they do the exact same thing and be like, well, you're wrong. Well, you just fucking did the same fucking thing. Like, yeah, did we lose our minds that bad that we can't make a rational thought that maybe if someone... Let's just say that Duke incident was real. Yeah, I know. Let's just say that Duke incident was actually real, and it wasn't. But let's say that happened. That's our first thought. That's we're just gonna be racist back. Like,
it's all about.
My thing would be, fuck the game. I'm not going because BYU makes 50% of the profits from this game in Oregon, so they're not gonna get paid. So what I would do was get all my friends to get all their friends. We're not going to that fucking game because they're fucking
Protest
racist.
the game.
Exactly. And then make Oregon suffer and BYU. Maybe fucking someone would do something about it. No.
Yeah.
You show up, you fucking have 17,000 beers in the parking lot, and you decide racial slur. That's the way I'm going to go. That's how I'm going to hit this.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It really makes no sense.
Or bigotry slur. So I have obviously my 2 cents on this regard, John, to your question. There is a culture right now where it is all about get back evenism. What I mean by that is there's always something that someone sets the tone. Well, I got to get this person back. There is no sense right now of us attempting, even the attempt to come together and to try and figure out, okay, where is person A coming from? Where is person B coming from? Is there a mutual benefit? And there is a mutual benefit of us coming together, discussing, and having a national conversation. And yes, I'm using that in air quotes, but it's all about how can I put myself above somebody else in a negative light where that person is so far beneath me on the totem pole. You know what I mean? It's literally like I have to be that one step above in the hate. And at some point, and it's easy for us to do it because we're built that way, you know, and that's highly controversial, but we gravitate towards it and we want it because we want that sense of justice. This person hurt me. Therefore, I'm going to get them back. It's called karma. We're going to find out a way to get somebody back in regards to this. Now, the solution is something that's like you completely, with love and admiration and respect, you come and approach that person and say, hey, dude, like, calm the hell down. You don't need to make that kind of chant to something in that regard to insult somebody's religious, respect, or by the color of skin or their nationality or whatever the case may be. Just chill the hell out, man. Seriously. And just, you may disagree. Fine. Okay. You disagree with them, shake hands with them, call it a day, move on. There's no need to linger about it with anger, in that regard. There's just no sense of doing that kind of stuff. But until you get to a point where we don't have this get back evenism, and par for the course, unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with these numbnuts that are out there making these stupid chants. And my fear is we will not see. There was so much bogus. Now there are bogus stories about racism. There's going to be someone that's going to come along that is actually going to be racist, that people don't know, wait a minute, that person is racist. That person needs to know of their racist tendencies. That kind of a deal. That's what I worry about more than anything else. If we hear dog whistles when it comes to racism, that's not going to do us any good, I think, at the end of the day.
It's true.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to go on for a long diatribe there, but it's yeah.
Let me just
why can't you do these long diatribes when I'm not doing a Macho Man voice, so I can stay there?
There you go.
I only have one thing to say, and we can kill this topic. Is if you want to be cool like Philly and actually chant things that are fun and good at heckling, watch some of the shit that we do and just duplicate it. Don't go out on your own. Like, learn from the best. Like,
there you go.
We're the best fan base, so just learn from us.
Maybe that could be a part of Temple's core curriculum class, heckling 101.
You need it.
Taught by Illinois Smith.
Unfortunately, Temple is not in a position to win many games where the heckling would be
they're
received in the way that you would want it to.
Yes.
Exactly. Here we go with topic number 2, gents. You gotta calm down over there. Anyway, exactly. So we have this article, gents. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a pandemic going on. It's called COVID-19. And apparently
Biden said it was over.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, then it must be over. I'll see you guys.
I was just going to say, John, you declared it over, I think, 6 months ago? It's nice to know the President of the United States is...
But I've always been ahead of the curve, so...
Exactly. The Lancet...
Why, he's my vice president.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. The Lancet COVID-19 Commission, guys,
what is
slammed...
That?
That's a very good question. I'm reading the article here.
Okay.
This commission
slammed... Hold on. Steve, that's extremely expensive government
there you go.
positions that you do not get unless...
Exactly. So this commission slams government's response, and governments is in plural here. So this is world governments as untrustworthy and urges urges investigation into the virus origins. How about that? Governments around the world showed themselves to be untrustworthy and ineffective during the pandemic, leading to several million deaths, massive global failure at multiple levels here.
And the Captain Obvious Award.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
Obviousness
Australia?
Award goes to whatever the thing is.
Exactly.
You talking about Spain?
I was just going to say, the panel of international experts wrote, quote, too many governments have failed to adhere to basic norms of institutional rationality and transparency. Too many people, often influenced by misinformation, have disrespected and protested against basic public health precautions, and the world's major powers have failed to collaborate to control the pandemic. The proximal origins of SARS-CoV-2 are still not known. Identifying those origins would provide greater clarity, not only to the causes of the current pandemic, but also vulnerabilities to future outbreaks and strategies to prevent them. End quote.
Would it really?
Guys, pretty Well,
Would it really? I mean, let's be honest.
To start the origin, yeah. I mean, you got to start at the beginning, obviously, where this virus started, and I would think from there would probably be a better way to,
But why did they just call out the one person that knows where it came from?
I don't know the answer to that question.
He surely knows where it came from, but
yeah,
he's on his
6.9 million deaths.
Yeah.
6.9 million deaths have been reported worldwide. Of course, in the United States, we have 1 million of that. Woo! 350 Americans continue to die every day from it.
We always do round numbers here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very monkish of you.
Of course, Dr. Rochelle Lewinsky of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said this last month to better prepare for future pandemics, guys. She said this, quote, "For 75 years, CDC and public health have been preparing for COVID, and in our big moment, our performance did not reliably meet expectations. My goal is a new public health action-oriented culture at CDC that emphasizes accountability, collaboration, communication, and timeliness." So now that lunatic is doing that, Steve or Illinois Smith, what is your immediate reaction to that article? Go ahead.
The only word I heard was action-oriented because I hate that phrase because it's a bullshit phrase.
Yeah.
It is. Remember that ad we did a while back that was all business buzzwords? That is what action-oriented means. It doesn't mean shit. Okay.
Exactly.
So if you were using
term.
that, right? Exactly. If you were using that term, you'd have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, the CDC was preparing for 75 years, and they fell flat on their face because they obviously weren't doing it right. Obviously. And I have no confidence whatsoever at the time being that they are going to do something right. And the whole business about being transparent, we all know that's not going to be the case. I mean, have you ever seen the movie 2012? They knew the Earth poles or whatever were going to change for 2 years. And what did they do? They built a secret bunker in the Himalayas. They didn't tell people this was going to happen.
Yes.
So transparency is playing out. If COVID was worse than it was, we wouldn't have known about it because they would have kept it to themselves.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that is key government. That's government 101. And I don't technically disagree with government 101. Because why do you want 100 million people scared shitless? That's not a good plan.
No,
that's just not a good plan.
Yeah, especially with no end goal in sight. No end goal in sight at all.
John, here's how you don't scare 100 million people shitless. You educate them on risks and what they can do to avoid them and mitigate them and provide resources where they can ask questions. You don't go, don't leave your house for 2 weeks because I said so. That makes me all fine and dandy and not scared to death that something's going to happen.
Yes. No,
we're going to slow this spread in 2 weeks.
we knew that was bullshit when it came out of their mouths.
Yeah.
You can't slow shit in 2 weeks, especially in a government a position.
Yeah.
They're okay. So here's what the CDC is actually telling you. They're not going to tell you shit. They're never going to tell you shit.
But they're so action oriented.
They're not really sure what happened, but they're glad that it isn't happening now. If it happens again, they might be a little bit more prepared, but they don't know what that is. They'll figure it out eventually.
I guess. Yeah. I guess. That's really the problem, though, really, John. At the end of the day, I'm not defending the CDC, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man.
But it's not their problem. It's always been that way. The problem is, Joe Rogan solved the problem already. He said, if you don't like what just happened the last 2 years, vote Republican. He was like, not because you're Republican, just because it's easier to see the bullshit. And he's right. We're getting to a point we need to just buckle down and not go forward with this. Whatever this isn't working.
Yeah.
Well,
It's their replan, their extra plan, the new plan.
This is what they're doing right now.
We've already seen what this group of people does, leading large amounts of people into uncertainty. They're not very good at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking sides on voting. What I'm saying is, go into this is what this is telling me. Go into the polls, educated.
Thank you.
Educate. Know who controls you. City controllers, governors, mayors. Understand press them on what they know.
Mm-hmm.
If this happens again, what are you going to do? They can lie to you all day, but at least you have to be proactive. We cannot, as a society, go forward with this cartoon anymore.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Like, they're literally hitting us with buzzwords.
Yeah.
They have nothing left. They do not know how to lead.
Great point.
They don't know how to lead.
Yeah, and that's a great point to piggyback to what Steve had said with the action items, that are basically, the actual consequence. Get out of here. That is your job. Your job is to make sure to, it's in the name, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The reason why I laugh at that is because they did not control, and they certainly did not prevent it. Now, again, like I said before in the podcast, everyone's going to get sick at some point. That's what's going to happen. It's all about, to Steve's point, mitigating, reducing the risk.
What was the death toll?
Oh, it's over 1 million people.
No, I mean of the population.
Minuscule.
Yes.
Of the global population.
But they never said that.
They never did. They didn't give you the whole picture, and that I believe was on purpose. I don't know why.
Steve, I have a question.
No.
I have a question. If they would have came out and said in the forefront, like they did, but they didn't, right? They could have been, hey, this is a disease. Everybody's going to get sick, but minimal people are going to die. Let's not minimize the deaths. Like, we need to stay safe. We need to stay. I'm still okay with the arbitrary 6 feet apart. I think we should go forward with that. I've said that 1 million times on podcast. The further we're away from each other, the better we are as a society. I really feel that way.
I don't disagree.
If they would have taken a couple of those, but they would have said, you're not going to die. Like, you have a very low risk of dying. We need to get out. We need herd immunity. We need this. Don't you think that the response would have been so much easier? Just with those basic facts that I understand you can die from this, but your likelihood of dying from the statistics are
minuscule. Yeah.
You got to really fuck up once you get COVID. Like, you got to not consult a doctor. You've got to heavily smoke. You've got to go out on a cocaine binge for 3 weeks. Like, you got to do if you have no comorbidities, you got to really fucking break all the rules. Before, like, but in saying that, if you do have, a chance that you can die from this, you need to go to the hospital.
No question. Yeah.
I don't know that your exact message would have been better. Perhaps tweaking it a bit, but I get your point, which is, had they been, again, more educational and more upfront, more, hey, these are the people who need protection because they're the most vulnerable. Here are the steps that you can do to protect these people. That certainly would have helped. And they just didn't do it.
Right. They just didn't.
And then you don't need masks. Then you do need masks. And then it's airborne. And then it's not airborne. It's on the counter. And it's not.
It could be on the countertop.
You know it.
Yeah.
You got to desanitize everything.
You know, I think, as we've discussed before, the messaging was brutal because, maybe they didn't know everything they needed to know, but they were too quick to come out with information that maybe wasn't necessarily proven yet.
What was it? Yeah, I was even going to say, guys, I think, John, you and I found something from like the 1920s or 30s of like, what did people do during the 1919 pandemic? And it was a list of common sense items where all you're doing is you're washing your hands, you're drinking water, you're walking every day, you're doing all kinds of other health related items to making sure that you're keeping your,
and that literally
your health
was
up.
That literally
and that
was a
totally
flu
scrapped.
That was literally a flu that would kill you if you got it.
Yeah,
like that
exactly.
that was totally different.
Yeah, exactly. Moral of the story is you got to keep your diet and exercise up as best you can. I think in the middle of this pandemic, we're not going to tell everybody what to do.
Not just
but
that.
Certainly for me, yeah. Go
not
ahead.
Just that.
Good, Steve.
Also, you need the social interaction. Because you also have to be in a good mental state. Because if you are depressed, because you're not seeing anybody because you're locked in your house, A, that's not good generally. But B, if you're depressed, your physical health is also going to suffer and could lead you to be more susceptible to things of this ilk.
Oh, absolutely.
But I have a question, and we kind of brushed it off at the beginning, but I want to know who this commission actually is, because what I heard a lot in the article was about how the government's failed, but I didn't offer in what way, because what I'm concerned is this Lancet commission or whatever is more like, well, they should have locked everybody down sooner and longer. I didn't hear in what way the government failed. All I heard was they failed, and then Rochelle Walensky saying, well, reverse synergies and action-oriented empowerment of things.
That's so interesting you mentioned it, because I just happened to Google search the Lancet Commission, Steve, and this is a very quick paragraph here. Commissions from the Lancet through our program of commissions. The Lancet editors work with academic partners to identify the most pressing issues in science, medicine, and global health, with the aim of providing recommendations that change health policy or improve practice. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Nope.
It sounds expensive.
It does sound expensive, exactly. Yeah. But that's pretty much what we have in that regard. It sounds to me like it's a commission based on medical experts more than anything else to me.
I worry you remember that Simpsons where all the smart people form a little club?
Yes.
And they try to run the town, and it turns out they can't run it very well because they may be book smart, but they're not, the best.
Street smart?
Street smart. That sounds like what this might be. It's a bunch of PhDs and MDs hanging around going, government should do this because I'm smart. I'm smart.
Yikes.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is brought to you by Dr. Dan's, taking the new fad of pharmaceutical food fusion to the next level. Our beef gets a fresh minty hint because we slather our cows with Vicks Vapor Rub while they are out to pasture. Feeling amorous? Drop by on Tickle Me Tuesdays for our famous foot-long hot dogs that soak overnight in a Viagra-laced brine. Guaranteed hours of fun afterward. For you vegetarians out there, we load up our tomato basil pasta sauce with antidepressants, guaranteed to perk you right up. That's Dr. Dan's. Just drive down I-95 and right into Baltimore Harbor. We're there. Trust us. John had to pick up his beer chicken.
Yeah, exactly. That he's cooking in the back.
NyQuil chicken.
In the back there. NyQuil chicken. There you go. Exactly.
I'm a Robitussin man myself, but what are you going to do?
Make sure you get it under the wings.
Nothing's good than having a Robitussin chicken. Let me tell you that right now. But in any event, guys, while we're cooking up some chicken here, why don't we dive right into topic 3, from the sublime to the ridiculous on Two Noobs. This is a very interesting article. I love it.
He likes it, but it's never really applicable because our last topic was not sublime, I must say.
I guess not. No, that's true. Yeah. But here we go. Guys, your doppelganger.
Just think about this. Someone in the world has a crush on the CDC director. Somebody. Not our audience, but somebody is like, man, she's hot. Like, somebody.
They probably work for the mob, too.
Oh my god! Yeah, no, seriously, seriously.
I'm
right?
pushing that conspiracy. Damn it!
You'll be in front of Rand Paul in no time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I swear, Mr. Senator, she's a member of the Corleone family.
Dressed in that hat and in those shades. Exactly.
I don't know how Al
right,
Pacino
guys.
wound up in that picture, Your Honor.
It's not my fault. I was just there taking it. Anyway, your doppelganger is out there, and you probably shared DNA with them, gents. New York Times article.
Yikes.
From August of last year, or August of this year, I should say. Charlie Chase and Michael Malone met in Atlanta in 1997. Mr. Malone served as a guest singer in Mr. Chasen's band. They quickly became friends, but they didn't notice what other people around them did. The two men could pass for twins. They're doppelgangers. They look strikingly similar. They're not related at all. Immediate ancestors are not even from the same parts of the world. Mr. Chasen's forebears hailed from Lithuania and Scotland. Mr. Malone's parents are from the Dominican Republic and the Bahamas. Go figure. But They are doppelgangers. They are, hundreds of unrelated lookalikes. They participated in a photography project by Francois Brunel, a Canadian artist. The picture series I'm Not a Lookalike was inspired by Mr. Brunel's discovery of his own lookalike, the English actor Rowan Atkinson. Believe it or not, guys. Yeah. Project has been a hit on social media, other parts of the internet, drawn the attention of scientists who study genetic relationships, which is interesting. So to think that there is another John Tracy lookalike out there frightens the hell out of me. I'm just saying.
I'm sure there is.
Just as
I'm
I've been told there's a potential doppelganger over here, so who knows? But
not per
thoughts
match
on
speak.
this?
I'm a very nice person.
I know you are, Johnny. Come on. I wouldn't be there being a good friend of yours for over 20 years.
But your doppelganger might not be.
Exactly.
He's in the closet.
Thoughts on this? What do you guys think about that? Kind of an interesting article.
It's
just
true.
off the cuff.
It's absolutely true. It's
Yeah.
You can just see it, like with the whole internet thing, the celebrities and the celebrity lookalikes. God, there's a Hillary Clinton. She has a body double from the presidency. Like, it's come out a couple years ago. Probably. Looks exactly like her. It creeped me out when I read that article. Like, it's someone that it was when she walked that way, when Hillary went that way, they had a body double of her, and it was it looked just like her.
It's amazing. Just amazing. Scientific thing that's happening. That's out there.
Yeah.
Really.
Well,
at the end of the day.
I think it makes sense a little bit because there's only so many ways you can arrange a human face.
Yes.
Reasonably. That with 7 billion people and people, however
would look
many
like
it's
a
been
human?
throughout history, you would, you'd think. No, I mean, the Will Ferrell and the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers look
exactly like.
for whatever reason. You're not always going to find. I had an experience. Back when I was first starting, I was part of a big international law firm. And we had an attorney. I never met her, but I saw her picture or like an email blast one time. I guess they won a case or something. And she was out in LA. She looked exactly like my wife, which was creepy as hell.
Wow.
And her name was, it sounded Indian, like Asia, India.
No kidding.
But looked
almost
identical. It was really freaky.
That's wild.
This stuff does happen. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, but I think what also
to hear that they might share the same DNA is a little weird. I think
that's what freaks me out.
Yeah,
but
what's interesting to me though is that the fingerprints, everybody has different fingerprints. Everybody, like no one has the same. We're all like snowflakes. Exactly. So in that regard, that's the safe option, I guess you could say. But to your point, that is freaky that they could potentially have the exact same DNA, which is really,
they didn't say
really,
exact
whoa.
same. They just said they would share some.
Parts of
share
the
the
same.
DNA.
Which
of
I
it,
guess
yeah.
I guess also sort of makes sense because to have the facial features arranged,
You would have to have,
have some.
You'd have to have a chromosome that goes this way, the same as said person. Like, it would just have to be that way. But that's talk about lazy government. Jeez, I don't want anybody have it. You know what I mean? Like, what if my doppelganger likes to knock off banks? I don't want to spend time in jail. I have no interest in that.
Yeah.
Mother Nature's a bad scientist.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So DNA is not necessarily going to clear you in that instance. It's
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I would.
Mother Nature's a bad scientist, John. I'm telling you right now.
I will use the opportunity to now name celebrities who I have been told I look similar to.
Oh, interesting.
So this is.
I'll be the judge of that.
This is not my. This didn't come from me. This is what has been told to me by other people. Some known, some unknown. So in my 41 years of existence, I have been told that I look similar to Ben Affleck, Heath Ledger.
The Ben Affleck thing, you have no doucheability to your face. So.
Yeah, I would disagree. Yeah, I would totally.
And the last one from Affleck and Ledger was I was in City Hall going through security, and the person behind the desk pointed at me and said, "Deadpool," and I'm like, Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, no. So again, these are all just crazy people.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
Maybe the attitude, but definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to even think if there's even one person that I don't think I've ever gotten. Yeah, I got nothing either.
No?
Yeah. I
People
can't
have
even
told me stuff, but I don't remember.
A lot of people have said that I have good voice for radio, so I mean, well, that says something right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily that's always a compliment. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now we've talked in the past.
I don't have much to work with up there. So.
Well, we've talked in the past that your what do we call them? The little dudes we're putting on the pictures now for
bit emojis?
YouTube videos, the bit emojis.
Oh yeah.
We've discussed how
Pat
your
Croce?
Bitmoji. No, not Pat Croce. I've said you look like a cross between Jamie and Adam from MythBusters.
Yeah, from MythBusters. Yeah. My dad also got when Terry Murray was coaching for the Flyers. There was always that. Oh,
yeah, he's
that
similar.
My dad was.
I could see
very
that.
Similar.
He's
Yeah,
similar.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
The only thing I have is when I started the bit emoji thing, my wife could not get over how my bit emoji actually looks like me. Like, it freaked her out for the longest time. Like, I would just send like a okay, like it would have this hat. It would be like it took her a while to get used to it.
Well, that's the thing with the Bitmojis is they, a lot of times it'll have
similar.
It'll have the right hair color, the right sort of face shape, but it's not like you would say that and say, "Oh, that's so and so particular." But you're right. Yours is a little.
Mine hit a little. It's like I held the phone in my face entirely too long, and it was like, I'll get those cheekbones just right. I'll get that shit just right.
Oh, that's too funny. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Anyway, topic 4, gents, as we roll on.
Cut that out.
I'm not going to cut that out. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to cut that out. Topic 4, guys, as we roll on episode 104. And how about we talk a little solar panels on the top of Amazon fulfillment centers, gents? Seems as though they're having some difficulty. Yeah, exactly. Amazon took all U.S. solar rooftops offline last year after a flurry of fires and electrical explosions. Ooh. Between April 2020 and June of 2021, solar panels atop Amazon fulfillment centers caught fire or experience electrical explosions at least 6 different times. They are trying to put out these things on top of their fulfillment centers by 2040 in an effort to be environmentally friendly. But apparently 220 solar panels outside of this Fresno, California warehouse fulfillment center caught fire. 3-alarm fire. It was caused by an undetermined electrical event within the solar system mounted on top of the roof. That's how it's said.
Sorry, solar system. That's
within the solar system. Yeah, exactly. I love it. A little over a year later, 60 firefighters called to an even larger Amazon facility in Perryville, Maryland. They had to put out a 2-alarm blaze. And then, of course,
well, that doesn't make sense. The larger fire was only a 2-alarm blaze.
2-alarmer. Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Documents,
this proves that Jeff Bezos is an alien, by the way.
This is really hilarious.
Solar system. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
In the intervening months, at least 4 other Amazon fulfillment centers caught fire, experienced electrical explosions due to failures.
Due to Jeff Bezos rolling Jupiter over top of the building.
Exactly, yeah. Documents which have never been made public indicate that between April and June of 21, Amazon, that's April of 2020, by the way, April 20 to June of 21, Amazon experienced critical fire or arc flash events in at least 6 of its 47 sites. 12% of their facilities, gents.
Yikes.
Arc flashes are kind of electrical explosion. Amazon employee wrote, "The rate of dangerous incidents is unacceptable and above industry averages."
Well, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Corporate, yeah.
No need to read it in that voice. That was a true statement.
That was a true statement.
It's very true. I don't want that to happen.
No, exactly.
If that happened right now, we would not be recording the podcast. If somebody arced and electrical fire broke out right now, we would stop shit. Yeah. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Commercial solar in the U.S. is expected to see 8% annual growth over the next 5 years, thanks in part to the Inflation Reduction Act that was, of course, passed by Congress. You know, they're reducing inflation. Good for them.
No,
are you sure that's what it's doing?
Yeah, no, they're not.
Yeah, supposedly.
No, they're not.
When do those provisions kick in? 2035?
Something like that. Yeah,
65.
By June of last year, all of Amazon's U.S. operations with solar had to be taken offline temporarily. Amazon spokesperson Erica Howard told CNBC in a statement that the incidents involved systems run by partners, and that the company responded by voluntarily turning off its solar-powered roofs out of abundance of caution, following a number of small number of isolated incidents with on-site solar systems. I love that. On-site solar systems owned and operated by third parties, Amazon proactively powered off our on-site solar installations in North America and took immediate steps to re-inspect each installation by a leading solar technical expert firm. Yeah, exactly. Those details currently didn't show up in the report later. Go ahead.
So what they did is they blamed a third party, and then they got another third party to check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what 100%. That just read.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Amazon's not in the business of solar panels. Why would they? What would they
Amazon's
going to go up there and look at it like? You know how much they probably paid for those solar panels too?
Oh
Holy
my
crap.
gosh!
Yeah.
That's
and they have no idea how it works.
Nope.
I mean, obviously, when you have 12% of your entire fleet and experiencing fires, I mean, that's not an electrical explosion. That's
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
And your
owner's
an alien.
Well, tinfoil hat, John. Let me tell you something about solar panels. The best ones probably convert only about 20 to 25% of the light they receive into actual electrical energy.
Yep.
Where do you think the other 75 to 80% goes? It's turned into heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what does heat do? Heat causes fires, especially if you don't set the thing up properly to conduct the heat away. These things are not. These are doing exactly what they can, and they probably went to the lowest bidder to do it.
Oh yeah.
Given the number that they have.
And then for people that don't understand, the panel is going to batteries.
Yeah.
So then you got a farm
and those
of batteries,
have a potential
which heat up, like Steve is saying. It's all about maintenance. It's about critical maintenance, water levels, connections.
Were you guys flying at all? Were you guys flying at all when they were banning certain Samsung devices from flights because the batteries would like randomly catch fire?
Yes.
Not for me.
It was like the
Not
Note 6 or something.
Yeah.
You would hear announcements like, you can't have the Note 6 in your bag because it's going to catch on fire. Yeah, batteries can catch on fire if they overheat. Yeah.
What a shock.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I was not. I guess that must have been after. I don't know when the Note 6 came out. That's an interesting question.
I've thrown a number out there. I don't remember exactly which one.
Okay.
It was pre-COVID.
It was never announced whenever I went
Yeah.
overseas or anything of that sort. They always tell you, okay, go on airplane the airplane mode. But I mean, I've never heard of anything like.
I remember that because I was having a war with a friend of mine, Apple to Samsung, and we were having to fly out at the same time. And I was like, well, I'm safe. I got an Apple. Their shitty batteries don't do anything.
I love it.
But I mean, the point is, batteries, that's another part of the system that could overheat and cause a fire. So you got to set these things up carefully. You can't just have Joe Schmo down the street, hook one of these up for you.
It's honestly really amazing.
Do we expect Amazon to have any kind of plan? I mean, they were created by Jeff
Not
Bezos.
really.
Like, there's no plan. There's no plan. Like,
there's a rush, to your point, John. I think you're right. There's a rush to kind of say, okay, well, we're environmentally conscious. Look at us.
He went from books to everything to I'm the leader in solar power. Like, he's a nutcase.
Yeah.
There's no surprise that 12% of his buildings are setting on fire. He's Elon Musk light at this point. Like,
and when you hastily put stuff together, in the race to be environmentally conscious, and you don't think these things through, guess what's going to happen? It's like it's no surprise that now it's like they've got to take a step back and they got to reassess everything, and that takes time. And
when he could have just did that. When he could have just did that in the first place. I'm all for solar energy. I'm all for wind power. I'm all for all the things that will get us off of gasoline. And I work in the gas industry. I'm all for them. But fucking do it smart.
Please
Don't
do it
follow
gradually.
Jeff Bezos.
Please do it gradually.
Do not follow Jeff Bezos.
No, there is no rush. The Earth is doing just fine. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not like it's going to be set on fire immediately. We're hanging in there.
You don't know.
Not
you
if
don't
I
know.
have anything to do with it.
Tuesday. I mean, you don't know. I'm calling you up first, and I'm going to be like, Matt, you're wrong. Tuesday,
I know.
We set on fire. We don't know. That's the thing. We need to learn. We need to. Steve's point from a couple podcasts ago holds true to every ounce of what we believe in. Take your time, figure it out, use scientific data, get us to the next level. Again, second topic in a row, the people that are doing this are not doing a very good job.
Yeah, exactly.
It shows.
Stop setting arbitrary deadlines. There's no rationale with respect to, what did they say? They want to be fully
2030,
2030,
40 or something like that.
What's
the
rush? Are you setting that specific deadline?
Yeah.
Well, why can't we get there when we get there?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's
you
how
probably
we used to build houses. That's how we used to build cars. That's how we used to build cars. We'll get there when we get there. Why can't we do that?
Yep.
You spend an arm and a leg to equip all of your centers right away, and look what's happening, because you probably had to do it lower price because it was expensive as hell to do it that way otherwise. So you pick the lowest bidder, and the lowest bidder was an idiot who didn't know positive and negative couplings.
What you just said, Steve, is exactly right, because you go in, and solar right now is incredibly expensive, a la electric cars. They are very expensive as well. You have to think things through, kind of like what you can even just from the expense standpoint, similar to college loans, right? You want to be able to do I want to take on this amount of debt immediately? No, I want to gradually put these costs out in front, that kind of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, you don't arbitrarily just spend so much money and, okay, we'll fix the problem, we'll worry about the problems later. You know, that kind of a deal. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
Well, that's not... Okay, the three of us are pretty comfortably financial through this... None of us are really, we're not bitching too much. We're all bitching, but we're not bitching too much. We're not going to be on the street tomorrow, right? Is what I'm trying to say. And none of us own an electric car. None of us are dabbling in solar power. It's not because we don't believe in it. It's that they haven't created a system that is efficient for us to be like, okay, well, this is the next step. It's not there yet. That's the biggest, you can't, do not get into the business right now, because it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things have to be weeded out in order for that garden to grow, Johnny, right? At the end of the day. So,
very true.
More work to do. More work to do. All right, guys. Well, here we go. The end of the episode, topic number 5. Can't believe we're doing a 5th topic. It's amazing, but jam-packed here in this episode. Business Insider piece, guys. This is amazing. Travelers are slamming Airbnb chore lists that tell guests to mow the lawn, do the laundry, take out the trash. Oh, and by the way, you got to pay $125 in cleaning fees. This is a very interesting one from the Wall Street Journal. Some Airbnb hosts are charging cleaning fees, asking guests to complete a list of chores, requiring guests to complete lengthy chore lists. Some of those cleaning fees could go all the way up, not just from $125, but to $375. Frustrated travelers have pushed back on social media, with some saying they've been asked to take out the trash, wash the sheets, mow the lawn. There's a TikToker who basically said in a viral video, she decided not to book the Airbnb because it charged this cleaning fee. Post amassed 66,000 views, 5,000 comments, many of which shared similar encounters.
So, all right. So, in order to get more viewers, we just have to go on TikTok and bitch about something
and rants.
Yes.
Yeah.
And rants. Okay. That's easy enough. Okay.
If I'm paying $229 a night to stay somewhere plus $125 cleaning fee, I'm not doing any laundry, she said. I know it's.
I completely agree with that.
I know it's like one load of laundry, and it takes me 2 minutes to do, but it's the principle that really bothers me.
I agree with that. If they're charging you a fee and you're paying upwards to $200 a night to stay somewhere, it's not your problem. That should probably cover.
Whose genius idea was it at Airbnb to break that out as a separate line item and not just include it as part of
they're just
come on.
Well, they're just following what cell phones do and what everything else does. You know what I mean? Like they're just jumping onto that. We'll charge you $350 and then tell you to do something. Like, and because some people will comply, and that's the.
So this is interesting.
Some people will just comply, like, oh, I don't want to cause a tiff. I'll just do their laundry for them. Fuck them. If I'm $300 and I'm on vacation, fuck you. Like,
yeah,
I
exactly.
might be in the corner. I don't give a shit at that point. I've covered more than your cleaning fucking fee by your $200 and your $150 cleaning.
I guess you kind of mark their territory, right, Johnny?
If
I don't give a shit at that point.
If I'm ever in a position where I'm fortunate enough to own a property I can rent out, I will never rent it to John. That has now been made absolutely clear. Oh, now he's joking.
Exactly.
No, but what I'm saying is, it is far beyond. Like, there is no room that is worth more than $100 anyway. And the fact that they're packing it on, then they're putting $150 cleaning fee.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about that, though, John. Reading further on the article, we got here this couple paragraphs here. An Airbnb spokesperson told Business Insider that while hosts choose their own cleaning fees, the company has provided recommendations for keeping the amount reasonable and suggests hosts consider not charging cleaning fees at all. According to the company, 45% of global Airbnb listings do not charge a cleaning fee. 45%, so it's a minority. And for those that do, the fee on average is less than 10% of the total reservation cost. The host page or the host resource page on cleaning fees says this: Would you like guests to load dirty dishes into the dishwasher or strip the bed linen before checkout? If so, consider charging a very minimal cleaning fee or no fee at all. With a higher fee, guests may expect to just walk away from your space at checkout as they would a hotel room. So it's interesting that they do give it sounds to me like Airbnb is given the option.
Yeah.
But it's like 55% of Airbnb guests are still charging a cleaning fee. And
I would
that's
too.
The problem.
I'll be honest, I would too. If I'm renting my house to somebody, I'm charging them a cleaning fee because I don't trust people to freaking clean up after themselves. And I'm not,
absolutely.
Now,
but I think it's the additional fee on top of that's the problem.
On top of the chore list. Yes, I agree. Now, I'm someone who we rent a house down the shore every year. It's not through Airbnb. It's through a regular realtor. And so we take out the trash because we're there for a week.
That's what you should do.
Why? I don't think taking out the trash is that big a deal. I mean, why would you want to live among a pile of trash? Take the goddamn trash out. It's easy enough.
Takes 2.5 minutes. Whatever.
I do it at a hotel, and when I leave, housekeepers come in and do it. I do it if I accumulate a little bit more trash than I want in here. I go walk down 3 flights of steps and put it in the dumpster.
There you go.
That's just not living in filth.
I mean, that's fine.
Exactly.
Now, at the houses we stay at down the shore, we bring our own linens. So we're not using somebody else, and I wouldn't want to use somebody else's sheets.
Sheets.
Yeah.
Hotel sheets, they bleach the hell out of those things.
Yes.
I'm not, at least at a good hotel. But somebody's house, I'm not sleeping in somebody else's linens. That's just gross.
No, that's weird.
So the doing the laundry thing doesn't really make sense to me because of that reason. You're sleeping in somebody else's sheets. That's a little weird. I would still bring my own.
But that's interesting. Yeah.
But mowing the lawn, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. See, that's interesting because prior to recording, I shared with you guys, I'll share again on the podcast, that years ago, my parents would rent a house down in Cape May, and it was a beautiful Victorian, 3-story house. It was beautiful, but it came with a corner property, and the guys we were renting it from, hey, do you mind cutting the grass? It was like, I'm 15 years old. I'm like, I guess I don't mind it, that kind of a deal. So it was electric mower, and I had to go out there and cut it, and it was maybe 45 minutes. But
couple questions.
Go for it.
How long was the house rented for?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I don't know if that'd be long enough to make me want to.
Yeah, if I'm there for 6 months, I'm totally cutting the grass.
Right. Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
Although it also depends on what you're charging. If you're charging me an arm and a leg, maybe I expect you to hire somebody to come out and mow the grass.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
they were a little older too, so they were in their mid to late 60s. So maybe, possibly.
Well, you were 15. It's a good lesson that you learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Running the dishwasher, I also agree that you probably ought to do that, because why do you want to live among a bunch of dirty dishes?
Yeah.
Again.
Or the worst thing you could do is leave the dirty dishes in the sink.
Oh, God.
That's the worst thing you can do.
No, you don't do that.
It's like, come on, man. At least give us some minimal effort to clean the dish, then stick it in the dishwasher, please.
That might be where this is coming from, with society being so lazy that maybe they just have to put fees on, and us normal people
Well, but look, the normal cleaning fees, you know, I think what you're expecting to pay for with the cleaning fees is they're going to go in and they're going to scrub the bathroom, right?
Yes.
They're going to clean the floors. Yeah. They're going to vacuum. I don't think they're there to like run your dishwasher.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
that's not the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is for the stuff that, you know, really have to get down on your hands and knees and scrub.
I mean,
you know,
I've been in
I had a sandwich. Let me pop this in the dishwasher. Oh no, that's a chore. I can't do that.
No,
I can't do that. $125.
I've been in a hotel for a week, and I've literally done my dishes every night. I've run the dishwasher. I've cooked because I over there somewhere. I have a kitchen.
There you go.
I've cooked. I don't expect the housekeeper to clean up after me. I do expect, you know, the trash to be taken out if it's not excessive.
And the bed to be changed.
Bed to be changed.
If I'm loading up the trash can and I'm like, oh, this is overflowing, I'll take it out myself. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the Airbnbs, like the extra charges, and they're not giving you anything. They're like, oh, well, you got to do the laundry. You got to do, like we're reading on it. You got to fucking mow the lawn. You got to do, fuck you.
You got to bleach the bathtub.
$400. It's like,
yeah. I don't need that extra cost
me
on
$400. For $400, I don't need to do anything. That's what I'm saying. There's
well,
a
again,
limit.
it's not. You don't need to do anything. It's you don't need to do any like
maintenance
anything
to that.
Unreasonable maintenance.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I fix that leaky pipe while you're there.
Yeah. I need to live there, and I need to take the trash out, and I need to possibly clean up after myself after I eat. But if you're charging me $400,
no,
I'm leaving it the way I'm leaving it the way I got it.
Yeah.
No more, no less. I can understand
that.
I can understand that beef.
I get
totally.
I do too. Yeah,
but I also see the other side of people who are, as Matt says, they're so lazy. They don't do the basic, simple stuff that, you know, a normal human being would not want to be on vacation amongst a pile of plates. Because I guarantee you, this cleaning service that you're paying for, they're not coming in while you're there. They're coming in after you leave.
After you leave.
Clean the bathrons, do all that stuff to prepare for the next people to come in. Or the next renter.
Yeah.
My question is, with society being this way, is that we have people like us, right? That literally will follow the rules, but we won't go over the limit. We're not going to fucking mow your lawn. And then you have the other side of society that literally will shit rack your place. That's why we're paying $400 a night to go to a place. You know what I mean? What is the solution to that? That's the question.
Those people just need to live in their own filth for a while until they get. We just have to force it on them.
I mean, at the end of the day, I would tend to agree. I mean, it literally is like you gotta like. Sometimes hard lessons have to be learned. At the end of the day, Johnny, you know what I mean.
What I'm saying is, one set is being affected by another set. So do you just keep taking the fees?
Yeah,
I don't go through Airbnb, so the fees don't bother me.
Yeah, it's like when I travel, it's like either a motel or hotel. Yeah, I never do an Airbnb. Yeah,
no, neither do I. But I'm just saying that's if you do the Airbnb, are you just willing to just take on the fees of the sloppy? Like, because that's the real question.
I don't know. If I were in a position to do an Airbnb and I found out, like, I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, $129 cleaning fee, but the location is really cool, and I'm looking at it and like, okay, it seems to be in a really good location. I'd go there. I would seriously go there and be like, okay.
I wouldn't book.
But at the same time, it's almost like, I think it depends on the location. I think it really depends on where you really want to go.
Well,
if it's hidden, though, it's like, you know what I mean?
It's also how, as you said, some of these are, 10% of the overall. fair. I think that ratio is important. If like half of what you're paying is for cleaning fees, then yeah, that might be. But again, and then there's also comparisons like, well, where else is there to stay, and what are they charging as compared to, if it costs me less to stay
really
at this
depends.
Airbnb with this cleaning fee as opposed to, a Hilton down the road, maybe it's worth going to the Airbnb because you get a little more privacy and that kind of thing. But so I would never say never book with a cleaning fee, but this is just part of it. I work with a guy who used to, he still does have a condo that he no longer rents it, but he used to, when he first got it, he would rent it. It was down at a beach in Delaware, and he would background check people requesting to rent. Yeah, because he wouldn't rent to like a group of college students because what the hell they're going to do to the place.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I mean?
smart.
Like,
to be honest with you, and that's a great that's a great point, Steve. Because as you guys know, I own a condo. That's exactly what I would do. 100% background check. I'm not going to rent it out to some kid, here and stuff like that. It's like, because the reason is the association has something on noise. They want to make sure that everybody is okay.
Oh, absolutely.
In the evening, they don't want large parties go off, that kind of a deal, at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, I don't think it was the loud parties as much as the damage that was expected from, a bunch of drunken college kids.
100%. I totally agree. Yep. So I would definitely be in favor of that.
Yeah, he did have furniture damaged once in a while. So,
that would piss me off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
you're out of here at that point.
Yeah. And then you got to replace it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's it, guys. That ends episode 104 of Two Noobs Talking, and
it's over so soon.
It's over so soon, yeah. But an hour has gone by. It's crazy, and it's great to be able to sit and chat with you guys, as always. But as we bid farewell, John, where can people find us out there on the social media?
I have a request.
Oh, go for it, Steve. Yeah.
Matt, as you do your part of the shameless plugs, you have to do them in your pretentious a-hole voice.
Nice.
Thank you.
You got it. No problem. Go for it. Nice. Johnny.
There we go. So, when me and Steve are communicating well, we are on Facebook, TikTok, Clapper, who we're close to 700 followers on Clapper, so keep it up.
Woo! Beauty.
Instagram, Reels everywhere I can figure out to post, but that'll take us little short videos that'll take us to our
that's our main YouTube channel, the Two Noobs Talking. Like, share, subscribe, and get notified when all our videos drop. They drop on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Illinois Smith, where can people audibly listen to us?
Nowhere. People audibly can listen to us through Podbean, which is our central hub and pumps us out to the little baby hubs like Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Glenn, and
Love you, Glenn. Don't forget about Samsung.
Oh yeah, Samsung. Whatever. Have you figured that out yet?
Whatever that is, I have no idea what that is.
Yeah,
I think we were supposed to figure that out a couple of weeks ago. We haven't still.
Yeah, we're also on Podchaser, which we don't know what that means either. But if you're listening to us on Podchaser, thank you.
Thank you very much. Exactly. All right, guys. So that's it. Episode 104 is in the can. Episode 105 next week. Rocking and rolling as we keep it moving. So until then, talk to you all guys next week. Take care.